2, 1. Hello, hello. What is going on, Moon Gang? Moon Gang, please say hello to Matt Wallace, a.k.a. Final Stand, a.k.a. the guy who lit the Doges out. Welcome, Matt. We are so happy to have you today. Very excited to basically just talk about what's going on with really Dogecoin, what's going on in the crypto sector, and also with that, everyone that you've brought over from the Final Stand YouTube channel. Welcome to the Space Ape community. Just to get this out of the way at the start, if you guys want, I have linked Matt Wallace's YouTube and his Twitter in the description of the video. I think it's also in the headline of the video if you want to check it out. Continually putting out content related to crypto, specifically Doge right now. It is worthwhile to check out. And today, I know a lot of people in my particular community have been here with AMC, GME, what's going on with that. And right now, like, we're all kind of interested in what's going on with Dogecoin. So I figured, hey, let's bring on a guy who knows what's going on and we can ask all those questions. So Matt, thank you for joining.
Yeah, what an intro. How's it going, Matt?
I'm having a blast this weekend, honestly. Just watching Doge absolutely rip right now. Like, just so everyone knows, anyone watching this in the future, we are filming this on Sunday, April 18th. And as of now, Dogecoin is trading at 33 cents. I have Ethereum up 2,200 and Bitcoin is 56,000. But Dogecoin is looking pretty strong. So I guess to start this off, for people who may not have heard of you yet, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got in investing, stocks, crypto? Give us a little bit about your history.
Yeah, so basically, I started off being an intergalactic space warrior and then just kind of moved over to cryptocurrency. And so I've been posting about Dogecoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Bitcoin, other cryptocurrencies, and really just having fun with it. So there's a lot of stats that I normally include. I don't know, can people see me right now?
Yep.
Okay, so there's a lot of stats I normally include. One of the biggest things, I know you already sent me some of the questions ahead of time. So one of the biggest things I want to let people know about Dogecoin is some of its utilitarian value. Because a lot of people see, oh, Dogecoin, it has a dog on it. It's a meme. It's just for fun. It's just to be funny. But this stat may change a lot of people's minds right now. So as you can see here, the value transacted for Dogecoin in the last 24 hours is over $3 billion, which is pretty remarkable, especially when you consider the fact that the average transaction fee is under $1. So it's a pretty dang good cryptocurrency in terms of that. Let me go and show you Bitcoin by comparison. So Bitcoin right here, value transacted 9.98 billion. So Bitcoin, magnitudes times bigger in terms of market cap, way bigger in terms of how many people own it. And yet, you see here, only three times as high for market cap. And average transaction fee is $50. So when you see Dogecoin $50 compared to $1, less than $1, that's a huge difference. It starts to show you. And not just that, let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum is touted as one of the best currencies for transactions. Let's go ahead and scroll down here and take a look. 7 billion transacted, so about double, and yet average transaction fee $18.85. So Dogecoin right now, in terms of its value to be used as a currency, is so much better than what people are giving it credit for. Not to mention, on top of all those things, right now we are seeing Dogecoin on the charts up 16.96%, while every single other cryptocurrency is down 8%. For Bitcoin, Ethereum down 8%, Binance Coin down 9%. Hope you can see that there. All these down big. Dogecoin right now showing currently it's the most stable coin, which is just amazing to see that. So I just want to go ahead and start off the video with some stats here to let everyone, because some people will just watch the beginning. So I want to show you guys Dogecoin. It's legitimately a great cryptocurrency. Don't listen to anyone who tells you it's a joke or that it doesn't have any value, because it absolutely does. Anyway, I guess I'll go ahead and give the floor back to you, Matt.
All right, yeah, I appreciate that, because that's a good intro, very exciting. And I mean, sometimes I like to think of it of like, the proof's on the scoreboard. It's running. Value is weird because it's supply and demand. Like, we give things value. And in the end, like, I'm sure you're seeing it yourself through your channels of, like, people are making serious money. Like, I'm not saying like just a couple of shekels here and there. Like, I'm seeing reports of like massive amounts of money, and I'm just here for that. Like, it to me, like, that's the argument of like, what is value, how does things have value? And in the end, like, in the market, whether it's the stock market, futures market, options market, crypto market, making money is making money. And right now, a lot of people are making money on Doge. So with the stats going in, I think it'd be cool if we hop into that. But just really to set people up for meeting you for the first time, can you just give us a little intro of like kind of what got you into crypto in the first place?
For sure. So let me go ahead and show you. I've been posting about Dogecoin for a while on my channel. I'll go ahead and pull it up right here. My channel, the Final Stand channel, I've been talking about Dogecoin once now. Put up so you can see a picture of this. But basically, so on my channel, as we scroll down here, you can see. So I was the only YouTube channel posting every single day about Dogecoin for months now. I've been doing this since the beginning of the year. And what's so wild to think about is since the first time I posted a video on Dogecoin, it's now approximately 100 times higher than when it was at that exact point in the video. We can scroll down all the way here and see. So my first video ever was, it says 3 months ago. It's close, a little bit closer to 4 months ago now. I said, Dogecoin is about to spike, huge potential, and $50,000 Bitcoin coming. So I was kind of looking at the entire atmosphere of cryptocurrency, and I saw a lot of opportunity for it to go up. And we see the government's inflation and a lot of things happening with that. And you can compare that to the cryptocurrency, which is a huge hedge against inflation. It just has so many advantages that are not even seen a lot of the time. So it's awesome to do. And you can also see I got my thumbnail skills going in there a little bit with Elon Musk and a purple background Dogecoin there. I was pretty proud of that thumbnail back in the day, but now it looks kind of outdated, which is fun. But that's kind of a little bit of background with me. First time I invested in Dogecoin was all the way back in August of 2018. So
Oh, wow.
when I did that investment, I can just imagine going back in time and telling myself, hey man, just so you know, one day there's going to be an entire army of Dogecoin people, and you're going to see that Dogecoin go from your little investment there to a big investment. It's just wild to think about all that's happened since that first investment in 2018. So there we go. Yeah, that's some background about me.
That's awesome. And just so you know, on the screen I have up Dogecoin right now, just to give people some stats on Dogecoin. In the past week, Dogecoin is up 242%, and from the start of 2021 until now. So if you made that New Year's resolution of I want to buy this altcoin, you would be up 6,707%. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, like you said, like it's just right there. Those numbers are insane, and like the fact that you got involved with it in August of 2018, I find to be incredibly, incredibly impressive. And like you said, you've been posting videos for upwards of 4 months on it, and like you're getting like, I mean, the rightful recognition you should, because you've definitely been you've been calling it, and you've been calling it accurately. So I guess with that, with the setup and everything now, to people, I'm sure at this point, if they're tuning into this, they know it, they've heard it about it at least. So if you had to explain what Dogecoin is, like how would you dive into that?
So basically, Dogecoin is, a lot of people hear, oh, it's made as a joke. Okay, well, was Dogecoin specifically made as a joke, or what does that mean, right? And so basically what it means is the guy who made it, Billy Marcus, who I've become friends with, I love that dude. But so me and him have been talking about that. He kind of explained to me. So yes, he did create Dogecoin overall as a joke. But what a lot of people don't know, so Dogecoin was actually based off of Litecoin, and then Litecoin was based off of Bitcoin. So basically, Dogecoin itself is just another version of Litecoin, except for, in my opinion, way better. You asked me in one of the questions ahead of time, so I went ahead and prepared a little bit for this. So 5 billion a year can be mined with Dogecoin. I kind of know these stats like the back of my hand a little bit. 5 billion a year can be mined with Dogecoin. There's currently 129 billion circulation, meaning that it will take more than 25 years to double the amount currently in circulation. And so as you see, with the price of Dogecoin, I've been saying that since it was at a penny. I've been talking about those stats, and so I kept saying to people, hey, it can go up in value way faster than it can go up in terms of the amount in circulation, which has proven to be an insane amount true based on what we're seeing right now with the price of Dogecoin. But to continue into the future, that's one thing to keep in mind. So 10,000 a minute approximately Dogecoin can be mined. That equals 5 billion a year. And because of that, it actually does not only allow the transactions to come through faster. So one thing, the reason why I showed you those numbers under $1 for the transaction fees, because there's more Dogecoin miners going out there than a lot of other cryptocurrencies, because 5 billion can be mined a year, that basically is what's able to facilitate those transactions and make them faster and make the fees lower. So that 5 billion a year is, in my opinion, a really, really great advantage that Dogecoin has. Technically, yes, it's kind of unlimited, but it's not really, because the percentage of the total goes down every single year while still having that utilitarian value of being able to get the lower fees and stuff.
Interesting. So if one of the big things, and I'm definitely newer to this world of crypto, of like, I hear the argument of like different cryptos and why we have different ones is because they have very specific use cases. So I guess setting that up, like, what do you see as some of like these use cases specific to Doge? Because even like what I'm seeing on Twitter and other forms of social media, the big argument about it is like, I get it now, is more of like, I guess it's the joke. Are you in on the joke? We're giving it value, and it's FOMO and people running it up. And then I hear this argument about it being like inflationary. So, like, I guess to give that back to you is like, if you had to, like, I guess defend against that argument, is how would you define its like use case, or in maybe even not now, but where do you see it being used in the future potentially?
Yeah, and just before we even get into the use case, I mean, already we've seen with Dogecoin the transaction fees significantly lower. So already, even if Dogecoin literally had zero use case that was specific to Dogecoin, we already see right now that it is currently one of the best cryptocurrencies for actually using for anything. So even without a specific use case, I think already Dogecoin has a place at the very top there, ahead of some of the other ones, and it should be even higher. It should be way higher. Dogecoin deserves to be the cryptocurrency of the world. I legitimately believe that based on what I've been seeing with it. And then in terms of specific use cases, tipping people online and things like that are definitely applications that can have. There's a lot of ways you can use Dogecoin that are specific to it. But just the overall point that Dogecoin is one of the best cryptocurrencies is I think what I want to hammer home the most. Then when you also look at the community behind it, there is no community like Dogecoin. It's not even close. That's one of the reasons why while every single other cryptocurrency is crashing pretty dang hard right now, we're seeing Dogecoin kind of surge and go up 20% in the face of every single other crypto in the top 20, except for I think one was up a couple percent, and that was at number 19. But besides that, every single other one was down big. And so when you look at that, not only does it look like right now it's a little bit more stable, it has more potential to go up, it has Elon Musk behind it, the most powerful person in the world. When you combine all those things, there's absolutely no reason why Dogecoin at this current point in time should not be the number one cryptocurrency on Earth, or at the very least, the number one altcoin on Earth.
Interesting. I like that. And speaking of it, so they'll be able to see, like, I have some of those Elon tweets up right now of just the Dogecoin standard. He tweeted that back, I believe, in July of 2020. And now, like, just that joke of the global financial system. It is kind of funny to, I mean, I think Elon is, in terms of celebrities, one of the most well known proponents. But really, the, I guess, celebrity community, there's quite a few people who are definitely just like in on this, which I think is like pretty awesome. Um, so with Dogecoin, and I guess can you explain a little bit more for the people who might be a bit confused about that transaction cost? Can you explain like the importance of why that gets you so excited about it?
Yeah, so basically, right now you see pretty high fees when you're using a credit card. You see pretty high fees when you are using pretty much any form of currency. So cryptocurrency has a huge advantage there because it's faster, it's easier, it's more fun, and it basically is also a hedge against inflation. So you look at all those things combined, and you need a cryptocurrency. We need that very badly right now. The only way I could see cryptocurrency crashing is if the government bans it because it's just so valuable, has so many use cases at this current point in time. So that's kind of the background behind that. And then what was the other question you had?
Oh, just like, well, I guess now this is a different can of worms with that, but so I guess with Dogecoin, the transaction fees of like the importance of it being so much cheaper, I guess say relative to the quote unquote bigger ones such as Bitcoin and Ethereum, like why does that in your book make it think that it should be higher than it is right now because it has such low transaction fees? So I think a lot of people, this is the first time they're hearing about transaction fees for crypto.
So basically, a transaction fee is just the fee that you have to pay when you do a transaction. I mean, the name kind of gives it away a little bit, but yeah, if you're new to it, basically that the best cryptocurrencies are going to automatically have a place toward the top. And so we've already seen Bitcoin right now has a market cap over $1 trillion. Ethereum has a market cap over $250 billion. So we know there's a lot of money that can be put into cryptocurrency. And a lot of that, I believe, is about to be focused on Dogecoin big time. Because right now, you're right, it has the celebrities behind it. It has so many big names talking about it. And the reason why is because not only on top of being a great cryptocurrency, it's also funny, right? Because
Mhm.
we're making a cryptocurrency that says, please mine much wow on it, go to the top. It makes all the people who are all snooty and at the high positions of power, Charles Hoskinson, for example, it makes them so annoyed to see us a community just having way more fun than them, having a better cryptocurrency, and also joking around about it. It's hilarious, it's fun, it makes it better. So combining all those things together is I guess the biggest thing I just want to make sure new people know about Dogecoin. And to talk a little bit more about the fees specifically, it's been a challenge the entire time with cryptocurrency to try to get those fees down. The more that miners are getting paid, the higher the fees are going to be. Miners are the people who are basically facilitating the transactions. So when you see people mining cryptocurrency, they have a computer somewhere in the world and they are actually trying to solve a math problem. And so if there's 100 people trying to solve that math problem and one person solves it, that one person will get the 10,000 Dogecoin that minute. So every single minute, there's a new math problem that comes up with Dogecoin. And every single minute, someone in the world gets that 10,000. If you have more computers, you have a higher chance of getting that 10,000. And so basically, you just basically unlock the block. And so that's where the kind of backstory behind that comes from. It's definitely complicated at first, but once you kind of look into it, you can see it actually all makes sense.
Okay, so in a little bit of the research I was doing in preparation for this video, one of the main arguments I heard about the against the long-term potential of Dogecoin was that it is inflationary. So to my understanding, there's pretty much a limited amount of Bitcoin that there will be in the world, same with Ethereum. And I guess I'm now gathering that that argument is not the same for Dogecoin, that like there technically is an infinite amount. So it could be hurting itself. So I guess what would be your response to that? Because that's the main argument I'm hearing against it.
Right, and so that's an argument a lot of people do put forth. So right now, there are currently a little bit over 18 million Bitcoin in existence, and so the most that there can be is 21 million. And so every single period of time, you see that half, which basically means, though, the reason Bitcoin has such high transaction fees is because we're already toward the end of that. That's actually one of the biggest negatives of Bitcoin, is that in terms of a transaction use case, it goes down extremely fast because every single year the transactions get slower and you have less people mining, and there's not that backing behind it. And I went ahead and pulled up. So this is the total supply right now of Dogecoin, 129.1 billion. And so when you think about that, only 5 billion a year that can be mined. And so it's going to be 134 billion by the time the next year has passed from today, which may sound like a lot, but think about it. So it'll be 134, then after that, it'll be 139. And so every single time it happens, it's going to be a small percentage, but yet we will still see it being mined. And also, here's another huge thing that a lot of people don't even think about. So Elon Musk tweeted out Dojo for Dogecoin. Dojo is a supercomputer. And this sounds kind of crazy. I mean, come on, Matt, a supercomputer for Dogecoin. That's just ridiculous. But is it that ridiculous? Maybe not. So Elon Musk, he has Tesla, as you know, and the supercomputer running the entire Tesla network is called Dojo. It definitely helps with the AI and making sure it's working better. So if he had his supercomputer, which is getting better and better, and I think at one day it's going to be one of the the fastest computers in the world. So if you actually see Elon Musk implementing his supercomputer just to help Dogecoin, which he said he would, he said Dojo for Dogecoin in a tweet. He loves it. He thinks it's hilarious to watch Dogecoin go up because of the meme and fun factor on top of being an awesome cryptocurrency. When Elon Musk says fate loves irony and Dogecoin could be the future cryptocurrency birth, I think he was actually joking a little bit. I don't think he meant that. But what's so crazy is that he could actually be right, because a lot of people, even people like Elon Musk, have not, when he said that, I don't think he fully understood it. I think he fully understands it now. I think he's done his research. Now he knows Dogecoin's legitimately good. And so that's why he's pumping it up in a little bit more of a serious way. And it was more fun at first. Now he's doing both fun and serious. So you have to think from his perspective. He already has close to 200 billion in the bank. He just wants to have fun with life. He wants to do whatever the heck he wants. He doesn't really care too much if this happens or that happens. He just wants to see cool things happening. And he also sees the power of Dogecoin social media. So he knows he can get way more likes, way more attention, which will help him with bringing humans to Mars and help him with his companies. So it's all those things combined. But to go back to that supercomputer, if we do see him actually implementing that in one way or the other, it would have to be somewhat decentralized for it to be actually a good thing there. So we can't have one supercomputer facility that's doing a large percentage of transactions, because then it could be hacked or it could be taken over, and it would have too much control of the entire network. What if Elon Musk has a network spread out of supercomputers, which is what he's planning to do, and some of that is being used, some of that energy for Dogecoin, then the transaction fees can get way lower even, making it even better as a cryptocurrency. We could also see, because Dogecoin has such an amazing community behind it, we could absolutely see a network of volunteers using computer bandwidth to basically mine and help the facilities the transactions go forward. So because of the community, because of everything, the use case there is just so much higher than other cryptocurrencies. And the argument that it's infinite is definitely falling on weak legs right now, because the people who say that don't understand that it's actually extremely limited. 5 billion a year is very small. So I guess, yeah, that would be my message to everyone. I know that, well, come on, man, there's way too many stats there. I'm trying to learn about Dogecoin, not learn how the entire supercomputer system network works, Matt. So yeah, so sorry if you're new for going that much into detail, but yeah, that's basically the story behind it.
Interesting. All right, I appreciate that. I think that's good because, like I said, that's like the main argument. So it almost sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong to sum this up. The fact that it is inflationary, and then like I guess the cherry on top is what Elon's potentially doing, is one of the main things that's keeping its transaction fees so low, which is a huge benefit within this world.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. It's not only a huge benefit, it makes it such a huge benefit that Dogecoin is currently the best cryptocurrency in the world by far. And it's really not even close. You see nothing like that. And that's why, even in the face of this crash, you see Dogecoin up 20%. I think right now, Dogecoin has way more potential than any other cryptocurrency. And I honestly believe it will become the cryptocurrency of Earth in the future. Yes, technically it can crash if we do see the governments cracking down on cryptocurrency as a whole. We can't see Dogecoin crash. I don't want to mislead anyone. But I think as long as the factors fall right into place that I see falling into place, then we are going to see Dogecoin become the future cryptocurrency of Earth. And everyone who doubted it, everyone who's seen laughing emojis on my first video, when Dogecoin was at half a penny, laughing emojis, people saying that's crazy, there's no chance it'll ever work, this, that, everyone criticizing. Now to see not only all the way up there at number 5 in the world. Technically, it's number 6. I don't count Tether because it's directly stable to the US dollar. So technically, Dogecoin number 5 in the world for cryptocurrencies, number 4 in the world for altcoins, and it does have the potential to move up to number 1, number 2, passing Ethereum, which would require around a 5 to 6x from where it is now. So I do see that happening in the future. I do see Dogecoin going crazy, and it's going to be exciting. Also, the channel, Final Stand, my channel, our community's channel is what I call it, because it really is. We use that channel for so many things as a Dogecoin community, but that channel has gone up by 30,000 subscribers in the last 2 or 3 days, which is just, I mean, it's insane. It's insane to see that happening. The growth on it, the amount of people pouring in, the community going crazy, and on Twitter, some of those tweets at Matt Wallace, a.k.a. are being seen by hundreds of thousands of people. On average, I think over 100,000 people are seeing each tweet, which is bringing so many new people in the community. And then I know a lot of your people are GameStop, AMC, and I know you're probably going to ask a question about that at some point. So do you want to go ahead and ask a question about that?
I have a couple more set up for you on that, but the strength of the community is undeniable, and I would say that the AMC, GME, it's that same thing. The people are highly supportive of these big social movements, and like the metrics you're seeing on your end, the ones I'm seeing on my end, like the proof is in the pudding right there. Like it is incredible. The people care about it, and so I guess with that, specifically in relation to Dogecoin, why do you think it's happening now? Like what was, I guess, like the straw that broke the camel's back of the people's interest now in Dogecoin running now? Was there some event that like, or was it like a ticking time bomb already? Like what happened that led to Dogecoin like right now being on the move?
So it's a combination of 5 things. The first one is that Dogecoin was significantly undervalued as a currency. People didn't realize that the transaction fees were so low. The second one is that we're likely about to see a Coinbase listing, meaning you're going to be able to buy Dogecoin on Coinbase. Over 50 million people use that platform. So it's going to have way more people, way more access to people. Also, Webull is now looking at adding Dogecoin. They've already been testing it in beta. Some people can currently already buy Dogecoin there on Webull. Webull, I believe, just purchased, we saw one of the wallets with Dogecoin purchase approximately 4 or so billion Dogecoin, a little bit less than that, I believe, but that could be Webull going ahead and getting started there with a big purchase into the Dogecoin space. So those are 3 huge things right there. Then on top of that, Elon Musk is going to literally send Dogecoin on to the moon. So he's going to put a physical Dogecoin on the moon just for the heck of it, for the fun of it. And that's going to be potentially seen by 2 billion people or more. I mean, so many people in the world right now have access to technology. We have not seen a moon landing in decades. In decades, it's been a long time. And so to have our current level of cameras, our current level of technology going actually to the moon, it's going to be stunning. It's going to be remarkable. How could you not tune into that? How could you not watch that? And when Dogecoin is literally being placed on the moon, such a historic event, I've been telling Elon too, if they can get the Dogecoin to be placed right next to the American flag, that's 69 extra points, which is a joke. It's a joke, but I mean, it would just be funny. I hope they do that. I hope they put the Dogecoin by the flag. So those are a bunch of things right there that are going to give Dogecoin a huge catalyst in the future. And a lot of times you see the run up ahead of time, which I'm sure you're familiar with. When you see a big news story announced before that actually comes to fruition, you see after the announcement a big run up, then after it comes to fruition maybe a little bit less so. So right now we could see a huge run up for Dogecoin. Also, the date 4-20 is coming up soon, and everyone knows that's kind of a meme day. It's kind of funny, and so Dogecoin meme, I think it kind of makes sense. Hopefully we'll see GameStop doing some cool things, AMC doing some cool things on 420 as well. But that's kind of why it's spiking at this current point in time.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm very like. I mean, it's trending on Twitter. I think this could do something pretty special in the next 2 days. Really excited. So you were talking a little bit about how Coinbase. It seems like they're going to be adding it soon. We know Weeble's in testing. So for people who want it, like right now, this second, where would you recommend people getting Dogecoin?
Oh yeah, so there's a lot of places. The easiest place to get it at this current point in time is Robinhood. Even though in the past we have had some issues with Robinhood, but this is actually funny. I haven't told any of my subscribers this yet. Vlad Tinov just DM'd me last night, and
What?
I'm gonna wait until one of my future videos to reveal kind of that conversation. But I always, whenever I get a DM from someone like that, I always try to be as transparent as possible with my subscribers. So I'm going to be making a video soon, kind of going through my conversation with Vlad. He's the CEO of Robinhood.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, obviously, you guys know that, in this community, you know what's happening with GameStop. You know how Vlad and Robinhood stopped that spike, and we were very upset with them about that. But at this current point in time, I'm pushing to see a Dogecoin Super Bowl commercial from Robinhood. I think it's possible to actually get it, especially with that line of communication open. So I'm going to be pushing for that. And so you'll see me being a little bit, I have called out Robinhood in the past. I have been very critical of some things I've done, and I'll still continue to hold them accountable. But at the same time, I do think it's good they didn't stop this Dogecoin spike. And I think that's an indication they may not stop the next GameStop spike either, or the next AMC stock. So we're pushing for that. I want to be using our platform as much as possible. And so to see that, Robinhood is definitely a place you can buy Dogecoin right now. Pretty easy to do. Then also you can buy it on Voyager, you can buy it on Uphold, you can buy it on Crypto.com app. And I like Crypto.com app a lot because a lot of people don't realize this. You can actually make anywhere from 3 to 12% interest a year for doing absolutely nothing, except for they do all the work, they lend your money out, and then you get money back. 3 to 12% is a lot. If you put $1 million in there, you can make $120,000 a year just for having your money in USD coin or another stable coin. Then the cryptocurrencies offer less in terms of percentage, but can still do some incredible things. So I would definitely recommend everyone should definitely check out the crypto.com app. And actually, if you want to get free Crow, you're welcome to use my link for that in one of my video descriptions. It's in all of them, so you're welcome to do that if you want. You don't have to. I mean, it's up to you. But then on top of all of those, we'll hopefully see Webull and Coinbase adding soon. And once that happens, I think Coinbase and Webull will likely be the easiest places to buy it, specifically Coinbase, just because their system is so flawless in a lot of ways. That's one of the reasons it's one of the top ones. Then on top of all of those, you can also buy it on Binance US. So there's so many opportunities. The first one I would look at if you're new to it, you probably already have Robinhood. So that's probably the easiest place. If you don't already have Robinhood, then you may want to look into getting crypto.com as your first one, but it can take up to a week for verification. So what I would recommend doing is trying to maybe get a couple at the same time and just see which one goes first, and then you can use that one. And as long as you have it set up, you'll be able to not only go into cryptocurrency, but go into other things too. And so far this year, my cryptocurrency investments have approximately, this is going to sound crazy, but I'm not even joking, approximately 100x, including Dogecoin. Dogecoin by far the biggest portion of that. But from the beginning of the year, January, and keep in mind too, as a lot of my money was being spent on camera equipment and stuff, so it's not like I'm unbelievably rich or anything from that, but I have made a decent amount from that, which is a lot of fun.
That's awesome. So one thing, when I know a lot of people do have Robinhood, and it is probably one of the quickest ways to get it if they want to get it even right now during this live stream. But I was reading something about that if you're buying it on Robinhood, you don't actually have it. Could you explain what those articles are talking about?
Yeah, so basically, I can show you this. So the biggest Dogecoin wallet. Let me go ahead and pull this up here for you. So these are all the top Dogecoin wallets. You're welcome to, anyone who wants to can check this out on BitInfo charts. Can you make the screen a little bit bigger? So I don't know how big am I on your screen. If not, it's fine. I can just say the numbers, but is that possible?
Yep, you are full screen.
Nice. Okay, full screen. Look at that. You can see my full face now. hopefully it's looking good. But take a look at this, so we can see. This is the top of Dogecoin wallet right here. It is DH5, and basically you address the wallets typically by the first three letters / numbers in them. So we call this one DH5 because technically this is the name of it. So it's DH5 YAIEQO and then a bunch of other ones, but we call it DH5 just for short, for simple. And so we believe this is Robinhood. We believe this is their wallet right here. They're basically buying with the ebbs and flows of the market. So you can see in the past, they've purchased large amounts, and we believe they're actually using another wallet right now. So they have a number of wallets. They started off, this was their main one, and they hold the majority of their Dogecoin in here. Approximately 1/4 of all the Dogecoin is in here. A lot of people say, well, it's all organized, it's all at the top. A lot of big Dogecoin holders, but that's actually, for the most part, false, because a lot of the biggest Dogecoin wallets are actually exchanges. They just aren't going to come out and admit it. And I'm trying to push them. They should come out and admit it. That really should be what they do. But for now, they're not. We can see whenever Dogecoin's about to go down, oftentimes you'll see a little bit of a sell here or a little bit of a buy. And now that they've switched to a different wallet, I believe, we may not see that as much. So basically, when you do buy, you aren't buying directly, but if enough people buy on Robinhood, then Robinhood will make a purchase. So you basically are. It's basically the same thing. And they do kind of track it in a similar way. A little bit of it is just based on trust. So that's why I do tell people Robinhood is not the best place for long-term Dogecoin trading. It's the easiest place for short-term Dogecoin trading, but at this current point in time, it's not the best place because of that. You do want to be going to other platforms if you have the ability to, if you're willing to wait that extra week. So that's kind of where it comes from. But just keep in mind, if you want to get into Dogecoin, you do wait an entire week, there is a possibility that it could absolutely skyrocket and leave you behind. So I just want to make sure I'm clear about that. It can go down too, but I think there's a decent chance that we could see some big numbers coming in the next few months here.
Gotcha. So if I were to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Dogecoin on Webull and or Robinhood at this moment, can I take that off into a wallet like offline, or no? Is that not available on those?
So Robinhood has been tweeting out, they're working on wallets, which will basically allow you to send and receive Dogecoin from Robinhood, which is cool, right? We like that. But at this current point in time, no, you can't. However, on Crypto.com app, you can. So you actually can have your own specific wallet for Dogecoin. People can send it to you. You can send it to other people. You can scan barcodes. It's actually pretty dang cool the way that works. So yeah, right now, not with Robinhood, but you can do it on other platforms.
Okay. So other platforms. So it sounds like it's in the works then, which would be pretty cool, and I think maybe make people feel a bit more comfortable about buying it on those. That's very cool. To rewind just a little bit, what's the evidence we have making us think that Robinhood is the 28% owner? What was it, DH5? That wallet? Like, what's the evidence that we have for that?
So I'll actually go ahead and show you. I did a full documentary, which was kind of like it was a big deal at the time it was released. I think a lot of people still kind of use that as a source of reference. But this documentary went a little bit viral online. A lot of people were talking about it. We had Elon Musk responding to one of my tweets in regards to this documentary, which means he almost certainly watched it, which I think is hilarious and awesome. But he responded. Basically, I called out Robinhood. I said, hey Vlad, which is, it's weird now that he's, I'm talking to him like on Twitter, so it feels weird to even say this, but I basically called out Vlad Tindif for his lookingly scripted answers, or seemingly scripted answers. There we go. Matt just made up a new word, lookingly. Dictionary, get on it. But I basically called out Robinhood on Twitter. It got a lot of attention, and so Elon Musk responded and said, "You're right" under that, which kind of made this documentary go a little bit viral. And that was when I was a little bit closer to the beginning of my channel at that current point in time. So I'll go ahead and pull up the title of this. We should be able to find it pretty easily. Well, nice. You're up to 2,600 viewers. That's awesome.
What's going on, everyone?
I just want to say it's doing amazing right now. So shout out to everyone who's in your community and making that happen. If you guys want to go down there and press like, you're welcome to do so. It definitely could help this video go out to more people, because I want everyone to know that Dogecoin, on top of being fun and a joke, is also a great currency. So if you do want to press like and help it get out to more people, that would definitely be a positive thing right there. So let me go ahead and show you this documentary. I'm not going to play it, but I'll show you the title there. And I'll put a ton of time into this. So it is called Largest Dogecoin Wallet Exposed. I'll screenshot so I can zoom in and show you a little bit better. Right. This is it right here. Largest Dogecoin wallet exposed, and I put it in big red letters, so I'm serious. I'm not messing around. Look at that, the huge, humongous red letters right there. And as I said, exposed with the explanation point. And basically, in this documentary, I go through where we see similar patterns with Robinhood. The first date that they opened up trading was the first date that that wallet actually made a purchase. So when you line up all those things together, when you kind of look at the backstory behind it, when you understand how many people are using Robinhood to buy Dogecoin, it all just kind of adds up and makes sense. So the facts and numbers all seem to be pointing to that. Technically, there is a tiny chance it's not them, but I think the evidence is a little bit too overwhelming to say it's not. And they're also using other wallets at this current point in time too. So that's not their only one, but that is their biggest one.
Interesting, very cool. And can you go over to the title of that just so the current viewers can see the exact title? They know what to search to find that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Largest Dogecoin
largest
wallet.
Dogecoin wallet exposed. Elon Musk needs to see this, and we believe he did, but I guess we're not 100% sure.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what it is. Largest Dogecoin wallet exposed. Elon Musk needs to see this. One of the best pieces of work I've ever posted on YouTube. Put a ton of time into that. So definitely, it's worth a watch if
Awesome.
you have not seen it yet.
Yeah, I will definitely be checking that out, and I recommend that to everyone. I also have on mine now your tweet that Elon responded to. I'm showing that. So I mean, it even I didn't know it got news attention from Fox Business. That's crazy. So you called out Vlad. You were asking about what was going on. And then Elon Musk responds. I don't even know how I would react if Elon responded to one of mine. And then on top of that, if it made it onto like a legitimate, like I guess, quote unquote, legitimate news source. That's crazy. That's so cool. I love it. That'd be so exciting
it was
for you.
wild. I'll go ahead and pull up the picture. Do you already have it on the screen?
Yeah.
Never mind. I won't put it up. And I already did. Oops, too late. But so basically, this is what I said on Twitter in regards to that. I said, "Hey, Vlad Teniff, CEO of Robinhood. Remember that time Elon Musk asked you to explain why you put a halt on trading for GameStop stock and Dogecoin? From the beginning, I've not only been trying to be in the corner of Dogecoin, I've also been trying to be in the corner of GameStop too, because I loved what was happening with that. I was a huge fan of the GameStop surge, and I want to see GameStop going to the moon too. One thing to keep in mind too, the market cap of GameStop is currently, I believe, 10. What's the current market cap of GameStop right now?
I don't know the I know the shares are around 70 million, so it's just 70 million multiplied by like I guess roughly 160. Yeah, I could get that information for us.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go and look it up.
Market cap 10.8 billion.
Okay, 10.8 billion. So right now, the market cap of GameStop is approximately 4 or 5 times about 4 times less than where Dogecoin is at this current point in time. Meaning, there's potential for GameStop stock to still do some pretty cool things in terms of market cap. A lot of people see that price of what is it? Was it now 180? 100? Where's GameStop at this current point in time?
155.
155. Okay, so a lot of people see that GameStop price and think, oh, well, it's one of the most expensive stocks. I'm sure you go through this all the time in the channel. We won't talk too much about it, but for those of you who are just tuning in from my tweet or from my channel, maybe basically GameStop stock. One thing to remember about that is that the entire market cap right now is 10.3 billion. So at its peak, it wasn't. A lot of people think, oh, but it went up to 300. It must have had like a $100 billion market cap or something. It actually went up to around 25 billion in that range at its very peak. And so it has the potential to go way higher with some of that meme energy, if the meme energy can be focused on it again. I know also you did a tweet where you said a lot of your followers said they have AMC stock right now. And AMC stock is actually another example. So AMC stock currently has a market cap. I think yeah. So it's a little bit less than GameStop. It's at 4.2 billion, which is perfect. 420 billion. I like 4.20 billion. That's great right there. But so basically with AMC stock, if AMC stock goes up to $20, it would have the same market cap as GME right now. And so that's a lot of people think, oh, well, GameStop, AMC can go up to $1 million or not $100 or something like that. Well, technically it could, but it would have to far surpass GameStop stock in order to do that. So those are just a few things. I know your community probably already knows all that, but let me go ahead and pull up the tweet again. So I said, remember that time Elon Musk asked you to explain why you put a halt for trading for GameStop stock, Dogecoin, and a few others. No more dodging Doge questions and hiding behind scripted answers. We demand transparency. #Robinhood. And so Elon Musk responded saying, you're right, which is just, it was wild to see that the tweet went a little bit viral. And then Fox Business covered it. We saw Yahoo Finance covering it. We saw a lot of articles all across, a ton of people talking about it on social media. So that was definitely a huge help in starting my career on YouTube and my Twitter career, I guess, if you can even say that. Because Twitter, it can be annoying at times, right? So we don't always like Twitter, but overall, it's a great source of information. It's a great source for a lot of the things that you want to see when you're looking at cryptocurrency and stocks and other things like that.
Speaking of just like timing and luck, it's funny. I like to believe in coincidence. As we're doing this right now, Dogecoin is actually up to 3.5 cents. So it's
Oh
on the
wow!
move. So I think we're this talk going down live is some good sentiment for what's happening with Dogecoin. So a little bit on a more of a general. Oh, actually, no. One thing I did want to say with AMC and GME, lots of talk of people. Adam Aaron is the CEO of AMC. A lot of people asking them to accept Dogecoin as payment, and then a lot of talk in the GameStop world as just like somehow getting involved in Doge. I would love to see the mixture of these three, just because I think psychologically, I think there's a lot of similar chords, but beyond that, the passion I see in these three bases, if all of these people came in together, I don't know who could stop it, because that much of social sentiment and cultural backing, all three of them would just rip to like absolute new highs. I think that would be an amazing scenario.
Yeah, I love the sound of that. I think Dogecoin, AMC, GameStop, should be definitely mixing together. A lot of us have very similar sentiments. We love just kind of messing with those in power and just having fun with it. On top of the fact that Dogecoin is a legitimate great cryptocurrency, and GameStop is actually a severely underrated stock.
Mhm.
So you combine all those things, both of them have actually real reasons to go up, and both of them on top of that are also the fun meme factors. So it's cool to kind of stick it to Wall Street and stick it to the people who are way too serious all the time and show them that, hey, we not only can we know you, we can have way more fun than you while we're doing it too.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, that's why I wear the duck shirt, making money while wearing silly clothes. It's one of my favorite things to do. So, if we were to go to a little bit more of a general sense of, let's say people right now watching, they're like, you know what? I love crypto, but maybe Dogecoin isn't like exactly their favorite thing. Like, we know you're a huge supporter of Dogecoin. But beyond that, are you into any other cryptos? Do you have any other like cryptos you would say that people should at least look into and do their own due diligence on?
Yes, so we actually have, I believe, the third largest Patreon on all of cryptocurrency right now. It may be the second at this current point in time. I think it may have just taken the second spot. So we have the second largest Patreon. The reason why it's grown so much, I do a crypto of the week every single week. And with including Dogecoin, the crypto of the week has gone up by about 100 times, which is a number I showed you, I talked about a little bit earlier in this interview. But just without Dogecoin, we've seen it go up by approximately over 20 times. Over 20 times from every single crypto that we pick. Meaning, if you put $100 each week into them, and there have been about 10 so far. So if you put $100 each week into them, that would be currently worth $20,000. So I do look at other cryptocurrencies. Crow is an example of one I like a lot because it's directly tied to the crypto.com app. I like the future of the crypto.com app. I think it has a great interface. It's a great platform. And so as the app gets bigger, it could potentially reach 100 million users relatively soon here. And so if we do see that happening, right now it's at around 10 million. We could see a 10x in Crow. It's CRO, that's the name of the cryptocurrency. You can only buy it, I believe, easily. There are a couple other places, but the only easy place to buy it in the US at least is currently on the crypto.com app. And on top of that, I'm definitely a fan of Ethereum. I do own a decent, well, I wouldn't say decent. I own a small amount of Ethereum. I do own a small amount of Ethereum, and so it's been fun to watch that grow, and watch what's happening with Ethereum as well. So those are three I like a lot: Pro, Dogecoin, Ethereum. But yes, I do. So I love talking about Dogecoin on my channel, but I do a show every single day, and I talk about all cryptocurrency, all finance news
Okay.
on that show. So it's not just Dogecoin; it's other stuff as well.
Awesome. I feel like we can't really have a crypto talk with at least like a little bit about Bitcoin. What are your thoughts on Bitcoin, basically?
So I'm definitely a huge fan of Bitcoin. Without Bitcoin, you wouldn't have seen this big cryptocurrency takeover that we've seen right now. So I'm definitely a fan of Bitcoin. At the same time, though, I don't see any reason why Bitcoin should be ahead of Dogecoin. I believe Dogecoin is better in almost every single way than Bitcoin. And as it gets even better beyond that, as other things are added, there's currently a pretty decent sized team working on the code of Dogecoin. That is led by a guy named Ross Nickel. And so a lot of people think, well, Dogecoin is just out there. No, there's a team actively working on it. I trust them. I think they're all great dudes. And so watching that and seeing what they're doing, we also have direct access to Billy Marcus if we ever need to get in contact with some of them. So we can that's definitely a huge helpful factor to Dogecoin and to its future ability. But Bitcoin at this current point in time, it's mainly used as a store of value. It's not, technically, yes, it's a cryptocurrency, but 10 billion a year, I showed you the numbers, 10 billion a year in transactions, which is now currently only 3 times as many as where Dogecoin is, even though the market cap is way bigger. And I also showed you the $50 per transaction for the fees, which is approximately 50 times where Dogecoin is. So way higher. It's 3 times more, but 50 times more. And so that way right there, specifically as a store of value, I think Bitcoin is great. I do like it into the future. Some of the predictions of 400K, I mean, technically that's possible, but I would rather see that big amount of money, which would be approximately 4 trillion or so, maybe a little bit more. I'd rather see that poured into Dogecoin and other cryptocurrencies, mainly Dogecoin, of course, because I think the other cryptocurrencies are where the real value is in the cryptocurrency space, where the real potential for 10x and 20x still is. There's so many opportunities. Less than 15% of people in the US currently have cryptocurrency. It was at 10%, and now it's at 15%. So it jumped up a bit. It's continuing to jump up. I expect that to just go crazy. We're going to see kind of like a parabola shape, and it's gonna be awesome to watch as that happens, as more people come in. But on top of that, only 1% of people approximately in the world, it's probably a little bit higher than 1% at this point in time, but around 1 to 2% of people in the world have cryptocurrency. And so it's not just a US specific thing, the entire world, and even more so in places like Africa, where the governments are doing really terrible things with the money, in places like China, where sometimes the government has too much control. In those places, in India too, you can see a huge use case for cryptocurrency as a whole. So I think that 1 to 2% number is going to go up significantly, and that 15% number will as well. There's going to be a lot of money coming into this. There are still opportunities to get rich if you're playing your cards right, and that's what's so exciting about it. On top of that, we also are going to see some cool things in the stock market world from all this energy too. So it's going to be a combination of both those.
That's awesome. I mean, out of my own curiosity, the two I'm hearing about a lot just in my live streams when I'm talking about the stock market, I hear quite a bit about Cardano and SafeMoon. Do you have any insights to those two by chance?
Yes. So I do have some insight into both of those. Let me go ahead and pull this up here. So right now, a lot of the energy around SafeMoon, I will go ahead and let everyone know they are paying for that to some degree, and so some of it's real, some of it's paid for. The people behind it basically came up with this idea: hey, what if we just pay influencers to talk about it and just fake the energy until we make it, until it becomes real energy? So SafeMoon does have the potential to do something, but I personally am not a huge fan of their marketing techniques. I did actually make a documentary kind of exposing their marketing techniques. So SafeMoon can go up a little bit if those marketing techniques work. I just hope they don't. Currently, though, it has such a small market cap. It's ranked definitely in below the top 100. Some places say it as low as 2,000. Some other sources say it in the hundreds. So it's kind of hard to know for sure where it is. But SafeMoon is definitely massively overrated as an actual currency. Every single time you use it, it's a 10% fee. So just to withdraw, it's a 10% fee. So as a currency, it has almost no use case. As a store of value, you're losing 10% instantly by putting it in, which I guess in theory can make it go higher in the short term, but its long-term potential, I don't love it. The only way it would work is if they just made the hype so big, which maybe they will. If they made the hype so big that it went up, I just don't think it deserves to be as high as it could go. I hope it doesn't. I really hope. I hope it doesn't, just based on that alone. And if it does, maybe I'll talk about it a little bit more. Then when it comes to Cardano, so right now, Dogecoin is currently ahead of Cardano in terms of market cap. So Dogecoin better than Cardano at this current point in time. Also, not just that. So if you actually click on Cardano, we have seen a similar amount of transactions happen in the last 24 hours with Cardano and Dogecoin. When it comes to the transaction fees and stuff, Dogecoin has so many use cases. On top of Cardano is not crash proof right now, going down 9%, while Dogecoin's up a little bit. So Cardano does have a lot of use cases. The founder of Cardano kind of came out and said some negative things about Dogecoin. I used to be not only bullish on Cardano, but also rooting for it. Now I'm just bullish on Cardano and not really rooting for it as much, because I thought that was kind of silly. It was unnecessary. He said some things that were untrue and false. And so I do have some qualms with the founder of that. But overall, as a cryptocurrency, it definitely has some value. It's definitely a good cryptocurrency overall. I would say Ethereum, though, is in my opinion a little bit better, just because the team behind it, I think, is a little bit smarter. They do already have that spot at number 2. So I like Ethereum more than Cardano, but
Bless you. Interesting.
Those are my thoughts on those two.
Yeah, no, that was a good amount of information that I didn't even know about them. I just see those names like quite a bit, so just really out of my own curiosity, I wanted to know a bit more, and that was very, very insightful. So a little bit more pivoting more to like the world of stocks themselves. Did you get involved with the Coinbase direct listing? Do you own Coinbase? Your thoughts on Coinbase?
So right now, Coinbase has a market cap of approximately, what is it, 880 or so billion, and based on the numbers, they had a quarter 1 with 1.5 or so million. Or no, was it? Let me go and double check on that.
So
I believe if they had a quarter
Q1.
one, I'll just say the numbers around it without actually going into specifics, because I looked it up. I did a whole show on it, but I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. Basically, currently Coinbase is approximately 4 times in terms of market cap where it actually, in my opinion, deserves to be. So the only way Coinbase stock can go up is if it actually gets lucky. So we saw Andre Jake, one of the biggest finance YouTubers, he lost a ton of money in that. He made a video explaining what happened. And I was thinking, Andre, no, you should have watched the video. Because basically in that video, I explained there's going to be so much more competition coming in the cryptocurrency space. I see Crypto.com app definitely taking a much larger role than it has now. I see Binance US growing some as well. So Coinbase is placed in that, especially with Webull now about to add Dogecoin. Coinbase has a much smaller place than it did before. So even with that massive Q1, which was approximately 10 times its previous revenue record, so huge revenue coming in. I believe it actually was 1.5 billion. It was 1.5 billion, a little bit over that. And so the quarter before that, it was approximately 100 million. And so based on that chart, that's why the valuation is so high. Because in theory, it goes 100 million approximately, then 1.5 billion, then what's next? 3 billion, right? So the entire valuation being that high is based on the idea that it is going to go up to that other level on the next one, and then potentially keep going up above that. And that's possible with so much competition, with, in my opinion, better apps in place. I don't see it being worth that current valuation, which is why I did not invest any stock into it, and why I think the people who did were definitely taking a little bit of risk. Maybe it'll go up if it gets lucky. We'll see. We'll definitely see what happens with that. I'm going to be monitoring it and tracking it closely.
Interesting. Oh, and just so everyone knows, like if this is the first, Coinbase is the largest U.S. based crypto exchange. It made its public debut this past week on Wednesday. It came out of the gate around 380, ran up to 420. Right now, it's trading at 345. I'm seeing a market cap on my screen of around 68 billion. And so when we were talking about it that day, that the direct listing, a lot of people were citing the numbers of, I believe, in the first fiscal quarter of 2021, it had a revenue of 1.8, and in all of 2020, it had an income of 1.3. So those 4 quarters. So like it did have like kind of considerable growth. But to my understanding, I think a lot of their revenue and money is coming from really the transaction fees. So in a way, their revenue is like oddly pinned to the value of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, Cardano. It's just because like they get a higher fee for every transaction. So it does seem to be a weird, but like it's kind of directly related, but not really to the value of like just the most highly traded pieces of crypto. But interesting. Yeah, I just want to get your thoughts on that. I bought a little bit just to be involved with it. Usually, I personally avoid new public debuts just because like they're super volatile. You never know what's going to happen. Like I'd rather it like develop its chart, have a bit of support, and then get involved in it. So do you think it still has I guess a decent like future? Like right now, if it's at 345, if you had to buy a share now, do you think a couple years down the road it'll be higher or lower than where it's at now?
My guess is it'll most likely be somewhere in a similar area. I mean, it can go up, but I don't think it'll really go up too much or go down too much. The thing that would absolutely destroy is if we saw the next Q2 numbers going down, or if we saw some other big companies going and listing publicly, IPOing, and then they have better numbers coming out. So right now, I mean, the only way it can go up is if we do see that massive growth of cryptocurrency as a whole, which I do think is coming. But the question is, how much of a share can they get of it, and how much of that is already put into the price of it? I think a lot of it is already put into the price. So I don't see a high chance of Coinbase stock being a great investment right now. I think there's so many other investments that have a much higher potential to go up, especially in the cryptocurrency space as a whole. So yeah, I'm not very bullish at this current point in time on Coinbase stock. It does require a lot of luck to go up, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fair. Interesting. So, from I guess, like a higher level view, right now, people from my world, people from your world, if they're watching this and they're like, this is cool, maybe I'm not completely sold on crypto in general, but they want to learn more. Where would you say is like the best place for them, like beyond your channel? And I'm gonna get the plugs for all that, but just in general, like where do you look for your own crypto news and that type of stuff? Like, how are you doing your due diligence? Where can another person like just dive into the crypto world?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess for Dogecoin specifically, there really isn't another place on YouTube. I think at this current point in time where you can get that level of information, just for Dogecoin specifically. But then if you're looking for cryptocurrency as a whole, there are a lot of great resources in terms of websites and things you can visit. CoinDesk is a great one. Anytime you want to see some stats behind the scenes, you want to see the transaction fees and things like that, that's a great thing to be looking at. So you can just, all you have to do is type in on your browser, say, for example, Dogecoin CoinDesk, and then it should be the first one that comes up. Say Bitcoin CoinDesk, Ethereum CoinDesk. That's where a lot of the stats I showed you came from. Then coinmarketcap.com. All you gotta do if you want to find that, type in cryptocurrency rankings on Google, and it should be the first one that comes up. You can actually see the rankings in real time. The entire market cap of cryptocurrency is a little bit over 2 trillion, I believe, right now. It may have dipped a little bit below that with this most recent crash, but you can see all those stats there. Those are two great sources of information. And I will say as well, so I do have to go prepare for my live show pretty soon here. So I can only probably stay like a couple more minutes. But oh my gosh, it's been fun. It's been fun to talk to you. I definitely enjoy your energy. I enjoy your style, and I appreciate you having me on for sure.
No, it's been an absolute blast. I mean, I learned a lot. I'm sure my audience learned a lot. And if they want to learn more from you, so I pinned, I tagged you in the title of this. If you want to reach out, like Matt Wallace, his YouTube is in the description of this video. It's also in the headline. On top of that, here I have his Twitter up here. It's at Matt Wallace 888. So check out his Twitter, check out his YouTube. Is there another thing of like, are those your two main forms of social media, or is there another way that people like can follow you and reach out to you?
Yeah, those are the two main ones right there. You're gonna find me tweeting a decent amount on Twitter. You're gonna find me posting a decent amount on YouTube. The live show, the tweets, I guess, are my main way to communicate to the world. I'm hoping once the Nerdling comes out, I can just immediately upload it to everyone's brain. But that's a little bit of a joke. But we'll see. We'll see where that goes. Elon Musk working on a computer chip that goes inside your brain. We won't get too sidetracked with that. So those are the two main platforms there: Twitter and YouTube. Where I do hopefully try to provide as much value as I can to people there. If you want to check it out, you're welcome to. I would definitely love to have you following me.
All right, that is awesome. Well, I truly appreciate the time, and we'll be talking soon. Hopefully something wild happens in the crypto market, and one of these days we could have you back on. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, hopefully. And to everyone who is in the final studying community right now who tuned in for this, shout out to you guys for coming all the way over here and watching. And I want to go ahead and end the stream with my favorite catchphrase, which is to the moon.
To the moon. I love that. I love that. Love that energy. Thank you so much. Have a good one, man.
Yeah, you too. Have a good one.
All right. I really appreciate all of you tuning in. That was an awesome. You guys know me if you've been following me for a bit of time. I don't really do weekend streams, but with it, I just think there's a really cool opportunity going on right now in the world of crypto. So I figured bring on some people that know a bit more of me, and I'm just trying to share as much like knowledge as I possibly can, get some accurate due diligence out there. From what I saw, Matt Wallace was highly requested. His YouTube channel is The Final Stand. So if you're very interested and you want to learn more about Dogecoin, feel free to check it out. He's commonly posting videos. He's commonly posting live streams. And he's pretty active on Twitter of just like kind of what's going on in the world of Dogecoin. So if that's something that interests you, check out that YouTube, check out that Twitter. But most of all, I appreciate you hanging out with me, doing a little ad hoc weekend crypto stuff. So I really enjoyed this personally. As more stuff is going on with crypto, I could definitely see myself doing more of this weekend stuff. And also, like, I just like bringing on people, interviewing them, getting a different take on things. But it's super interesting. And for really anyone that's been in crypto right now, let me be one of the first people to congratulate you, because I know all of you are really killing it. So that's it for today. A little special weekend treat for all the members of the YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. And until I catch you next time, remember, live stream tomorrow morning. But until I catch you next time, best of luck in the markets.